Morning, everyone. We'll call the meeting to order. Okay, is there any additions to the agenda? Motion to accept. Tom moved, all in favor? Carried. I was looking that way. Adoption of the minutes, September 11th, 2018, Municipal Planning Commission meeting.
I'll move that we approve the September 11th, 2018 Municipal Planning Commission meeting minutes.
Any questions or concerns? All in favor? Carried. And development permit application file DP 2018-116, whenever you're ready.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So today we are, talking about DP 2018-116, and the purpose for this application is to apply for a garden suite on a 50.06 acre ag general parcel. The garden suite requires a variance to the land use bylaw because it's been placed on the parcel prior to the primary dwelling. I don't know why that looks kind of milky. I'm not sure. Can you guys see it okay? Okay. So the staff recommendation is that MPC choose option 1 to approve this application for the garden suite with a variance, which would allow the garden suite to be placed on the parcel prior to the primary dwelling, subject to conditions in Appendix A of the development permit report, which I will go through right now. So the applicant received a permit in May 2018 for a used moved on dwelling, which has now been placed on the parcel. The applicant would like to make the existing dwelling, which is 970 square feet, a garden suite in order to accommodate a second dwelling on the parcel. The applicant has paid their $5,000 refundable deposit for the moved on dwelling. They have got all of their safety code permits that are required. The applicant was issued a permit for the second residence that they want to use for the primary, which is 2,000 square feet, but it's conditional upon approval of this garden suite. Otherwise, they can't have two on there at the same time on a 50-acre parcel. So the proposed garden suite meets all of the setback and size requirements required by the land use bylaw, and it will share a well and septic services with the primary residence. The application aligns with all of the plans, the regional SSRP. Staff are confident that all of our documents align with the SSRP. The Calgary Metropolitan Regional Board, CMRB. So this application is just on the other side of the road from where the plan ends, the interim plan, so it's not impacted by that. The Regional Growth Management Strategy provides guidance for residential development in the county by including strategies for creation of sustainable communities. And affordable and varied housing alternatives form a part of the overall sustainable community vision. Municipal development plan, this garden suite allows for a second residence on the property without having to subdivide. It offers an alternative housing option for family members or possibly a potential rental property. So we believe it aligns with the vision of the MDP. The land use bylaw, as I mentioned, it meets all of the requirements. It's the allowable size. It meets that 40-foot setback between the two proposed buildings. And the only thing that doesn't meet is what's outlined in yellow there, that usually we say the primary must be fully constructed before a permit for a garden suite can be applied for. So that's why they need a variance. So the land use bylaw outlines the criteria by which a development authority can consider a variance. The application cannot unduly interfere with the amenities of the neighborhood, materially interfere with or affect the use, enjoyment, or value of neighboring parcels of land, and it conforms with similar use prescribed for that land or building in this bylaw. So the variance is requested in order to accommodate the garden suite, because approving it will require the dwellings to be constructed in reverse order than what the land use bylaw currently stipulates. As we've discussed at our planning and priorities meeting, we are proposing an upcoming amendment to the land use bylaw where we're going to try and change that provision so that a variance wouldn't be required for this in the future. Circulation was completed within 1 mile. No agency circulation was completed. It was circulated to internal staff. Nobody had any concerns with it. No responses from adjacent landowners. So staff are proposing the following 3 options. Option 1, to approve DP 2018-116, a garden suite with a variance which would allow the garden suite to be placed on the parcel prior to the primary dwelling, subject to conditions in Appendix A. That based on the following, that the requested variance fits the criteria for the Development Authority to grant a variance to the regulations of land use bylaw, and with the exception of the aforementioned variance, with the stated conditions of approval, the Development Authority has determined that the proposed garden suite complies with the county's land use bylaw rules and regulations and the MDP policies. Option 2 would be to refuse the application with reasons. Option 3 would be to provide an alternative recommendation of council's choosing. Staff are recommending option 1, to approve the application based on the proposed application aligns with the goals and objectives for community development in the RGMS. Proposed application aligns with 3.1 and 3.6 of the MDP. The application aligns with the intent and purposes of Ag General District. The existing uses and proposed garden suite fit the context of the area, which is residential and agricultural in nature. And construction of the garden suite prior to construction of the primary dwelling does not unduly interfere with the amenities of the neighborhood or materially interfere with or affect the use, enjoyment, or value of neighboring parcels of land. So Appendix A, here are the proposed conditions. The development permit is issued for the purpose of an existing moved-on dwelling to be used as a garden suite, defined as a garden suite. A variance has been granted allowing the garden suite to be placed on the parcel prior to the primary residence. Development shall proceed according to Ag General requirements. No permanent development over any utility right-of-way or easement. And the applicant is to ensure the approach is developed to county standards. So here's some diagrams and drawings. So here's the location. There's Nameka. It's north of Nameka there. The CMRB plan area is in blue, and this is where the application is, across the road. That's an aerial photo of the parcel. This is where the proposed garden suite is located right now as the single residence on the parcel. So that's, and then 40 feet away is where they're proposing the primary, right here in blue. So that is a site visit. I drove by the site and there is the garden suite proposed already on the land. And that's a picture of it. That's what the proposed primary is going to look like. And that's everything. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? Ben?
The primary, is that a moved on also, or is that just what it looks like?
It's a moved on.
So has he applied for that already? Has he paid his 5,000?
He has applied for it and he hasn't paid his 5,000 yet, so he hasn't moved it on. He was waiting for the approval of this one first, I believe.
So can you make that a condition that of having this one as that be paid as one of the conditions, to paid for the primary at the same time? So you have that in hand before.
So he's already got his permit for the primary, and it has the used moved on dwelling condition on there that he has to pay that 5,000. We don't issue building permits until that 5,000 is paid.
So does he have a time frame?
For paying, well, any,
For that primary being moved on?
the primary you have, well, any development permit, you have 1 year to commence, 2 years to complete. But he can't even commence until he gets his building permit, because he'll need that for the foundation. Okay?
Any other questions? So you're going to look at this in the bylaw? Because I'm thinking this is going to become more standard practice.
Yes, yeah, we've figured out that, because I've had other calls for people that wanted to, say they had a mobile on the property right now, and they wanted to make that a garden suite and then build a primary. And we don't allow that in the bylaw now unless you get a variance. So in the proposed amendment to the garden suite, we've changed that. So, yeah.
Amber? Go ahead.
I'll move that we approve development permit 2018-116, a garden suite with a variance which would allow the garden suite to be placed on the parcel prior to the primary dwelling being constructed, subject to conditions noted in Appendix A of the development permit report.
Any questions? All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Anything else? Motion to adjourn. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. Suzanne, before you leave, can I ask you a question?